And hello there, everybody. How are you? And especially Megan doing today? How's everybody doing
I
today?
was
What?
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Hopefully, everyone is doing great. We're here for more E3, this time a 96 flavor, which I think is a pretty good
Yay.
flavor. I don't know what games came out in 96 off the top of my head. Um, so just a bit of a heads up, I can't really find any actual like presentations for 96. I can't find anything really before 2002, I believe. So might not be seeing many presentations until then. But
Yeah.
this guy also put out one for 95. Interesting, because it's a different dude. Intriguing.
Hopefully it's better video quality than the other guy. The other guy moved the camera so much.
The other guy, that guy did move the quality a lot. So if you want to see 95, you can also check out Brian Peaks because he did 95 and 96 apparently. But we
Yeah.
also got the keynote for the other guy, which I think is the more important bit, to be honest.
Well, I think the keynote is definitely more interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, this is 96 E3 show floor. We did also find a couple of promo videos, which we'll probably also throw in and watch. But, you know, I figure it should be fun. We'll probably 2 times through this once again just to get it done at a decent speed. But
When you speed up this music, it sounds like techno.
it does. Well, plus, just in case there's copyright, this should save me. So I'm getting my bases covered. Running Road?
Running Road. I've never seen this game, but it looks cool.
Yeah, me neither. So
Although I love how comically fast his truck is driving, though.
I mean, because 2 times speed.
I know, I get that, but still.
It is pretty
funny.
comical. It is pretty comical. Let me actually get my page up for E3 really quick. Because this one's see about stats. So let's see what we have for stats. So E3 96. Had more attendance, 66,000. So it's a little bit bigger this year. Still held in the Los Angeles Convention Center, May 11th. So this is still before they moved it to June or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Hi. Yeah, it's still like a lot of fighting games, I'm noticing. But they're going more of the Soul Calibur kind of route.
Yeah.
I don't know if Soul Calibur would have been out.
I mean, even the stuff we looked at in 95, there was a lot of fighting games, a lot of racing games, and a decent amount of sports games.
Yeah.
But I imagine, at least for the time especially, they were probably much easier to produce along with platformers.
Probably. Power Slave. Oh, look at this.
Oh, nice.
I've never seen this one either. So it's like a Doom clone. It's probably going to be a lot of clones.
There's going to be a lot of clones. I think that was a very common thing, especially up until, well, I want to say the 2010s is when people kind of stopped copying everything. They still do to an extent, but...
I mean, I think you're probably right on Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat 3!
Oh, for the Sega Saturn. See, so Sega Saturn's out officially now. So I guess they're still going to really be leaning into that one.
Oh, that was cool.
Are there any other stats for this one? So the main presenters for this one, I guess the companies that were showing off the most were Nintendo, Sega, Scavenger Inc., and Sony.
Okay.
Scavenger Inc. is a video game publisher that worked closely with GT Interactive, based in LA. I can't find any games that they really worked on. I guess they worked on the Sega. They often innovative and accomplished feats that were previously thought impossible on their respective hardware platforms. Yeah, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. They're talking about Perfect Weapon Alpha. I don't know about Perfect Weapon. So this might actually be something that was either canceled or maybe just something I've never heard of. Jump a little bit.
Backgrounds are pre-rendered in Alias. They're all ray traced. That's why we use this beautiful camera, beautiful shadows. With the way our engine's working with the streaming, you notice when I cut to a different view.
This guy at the booth's really selling the game.
He is.
Which is something we spend a lot of time on. Yes, that's why we can have 5 characters, 5 Guru shaded texture maps characters. It'll be 60% action, 40% adventure. So
I mean, fair.
you're going against 5.
Can you even put a percentage on action and adventure in the game? That seems a little weird to me.
JVCL, he's the martial arts champion in the world.
So apparently it was marketed as Tekken 2 meets Resident Evil,
Basically, yes,
Oh, okay.
and it was met with mediocre reviews.
so we're gonna have tons of moves like
Ah.
that, multiplayer
And it was meant to come out for the Saturn as well, but that port was canceled. It was released in 2010
guy up, the other guy will jump on
on the PS,
Okay.
PS Network as a PS1 classic.
Here is gonna be this, behavioral
That's kinda
model
cool.
we're developing. So the artificial intelligence is gonna be cooperative with all these guys circling around you in real time.
It does seem kind of awkward. So it's like a fighting game, but done in a Resident Evil style tank control thing. I could see already
Yeah.
why it wouldn't really be considered that great.
Well, not to mention the constant camera angle changing too. That's a little weird.
Yeah, innovative. A spider.
Spider. Oh, this is really cool.
Hey, he plays like a spider. That's interesting.
Like a platformer? Yeah.
Huh. I might need to keep an eye out for this one too, actually.
Okay.
What's
I
some
like how you can
characters?
just breathe fire.
I mean, as spiders do. That sound's gone.
I mean,
worry.
if you ever see a spider breathing fire, you better run. Oh, he can swing. That's really cool too. Seems like the collision on the top platform's not quite there though.
Uh,
Rocket launcher. Okay.
dude, looking up the box art, it's very arachnophobia, but it's like a spider with a shotgun, which is sick. It
That is interesting.
has a knife. Okay, that's badass. Okay, I like it actually.
Yeah,
if I-
because
if-
it's shot a couple, I assume, from the RPG, and oh, yeah, this is interesting.
This is interesting. Okay, I like it. I want to look for this game. I'm gonna add it on my games to find later list, dude. Yeah, he plays the cybernetic spider, within which the mind of its creator, Dr. Michael Kelly, has been implanted. That sounds badass.
That is
mean-
really cool.
I mean, it got mediocre to good reviews, so major damage.
Major damage.
I don't know where the sound went, by the way. That's not something I did. I promise. The it's just currently lacking sound.
Yeah, maybe his camera was malfunctioning.
Possibly. I don't know if it'll come back, but you know what? We're not here for the sound. We're here for the experience of E3. Hold on, I mean to push that one. I've also got to put it back on 2x speed. The cybernetic spider really threw me for a loop.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Tomb
Oh, Tomb Raider.
on the Saturn. Was it
Saturn.
on the Saturn? I thought it was
I
PlayStation
didn't
only.
know it had a Saturn port. Maybe it was supposed to be on the Saturn, but maybe Sony bought it out at some point.
Maybe. Well, I might look that up too. I mean, I do kind of hope the sound comes back eventually. It'd be a little weird to not have sound at all for like the rest of this whole video. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I almost wonder if YouTube did like a thing where they muted it.
They might have.
I don't know what music would have been going on in the background. I don't think he would have added any music. No, sometimes YouTube is weird. Everybody knows YouTube is weird with its systems. Hell, for those that either know or don't know, I actually, because I don't know if I actually mentioned this in a YouTube video or not, but for my, one of my, okay, sounds kind of coming back. Was it for, what was it for? It was for like, I think it was actually for an E3 thing, funnily enough, where I put on the live, like, because, you know, I do like the Let's Watch of the E3 stuff.
Yeah.
Or it was for some kind of presentation. It might have been for like a PlayStation showcase or something. I don't remember. It was not long ago. Oh, they had a sequel to Cool Spot.
Oh, I didn't know
Spot
that.
Goes to Hollywood. I didn't know that either. That's kind of cool. Sorry, but yeah. So they were showing like some. I don't remember what game it was. It was for Control. Was it? Was it
Okay.
Control? I don't remember. It came out recently.
I'm not sure.
But it got a copyright thing from fucking the UFC because they're like, oh no, this is one of our matches that we put on.
Oh,
And I was like, where the hell is any UFC match like at all in here? It's literally for the
oh.
game Control.
I was gonna say, wasn't that for one of the showcases we did for the Callisto Protocol?
Yeah, that was it. It was for the Callisto Protocol. Yeah, I got claimed by like the UFC, and I thought that was really dumb. And I even kind of let that be known because I actually did like I did like I didn't need to. It wasn't like really doing anything like negative, but I'm like it's the principle of it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
like to say like nah, this isn't actually good, there's like nothing there for the UFC at all. And it gave me a thing. And it was like okay, so like what's the issue? And I was like, I'm pretty sure the UFC doesn't own the Callisto Protocol, so there's no UFC here. It's just the Callisto Protocol. And then it was sorted out within like a few days. I think it might have been a week, but it was surprisingly short.
Yeah, I find when it comes to stuff like that, at least if it's like a fraudulent claim and it's not legit, they'll just take as long as possible to get anything done.
Oh, it was
That's
actually
all.
first released for the Sega Saturn. Was that?
Yeah, so I did look it up. It came out on the Sega Saturn in October, and it came out on the PlayStation in November of '96.
See, isn't that pretty crazy actually? Because I always saw Tomb Raider as a PlayStation game, a Sony game, but it was a Sega game first. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of interesting. I'm not sure why they did it that way. I don't know. Maybe eventually the developer just ended up going for PlayStation.
I mean, potentially. It's also possible that, like, I don't know, maybe Sega got exclusivity for a little bit. Not for very long, mind
Maybe.
you, but. Or maybe the Saturn was just considered more powerful. I don't actually remember. At the time,
Yeah,
so
I'm
they
not
were like,
sure.
we'll develop for this one first and then port it. I don't know. I just always saw Tomb Raider as, like, a PlayStation game.
I always thought it was too. I don't know. Maybe it was just the marketing. Maybe after it got really big on the PlayStation, they just only worked the PlayStation after that point.
Maybe. I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit just so I can hear Megan a little bit better.
Yeah, I turned my stream down a little bit too. It's a little bit loud. Polka.
I am seeing a lot of interesting games though.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there's at least a little bit more variety than there was in the other video we saw.
I'm gonna just put down the spider game on a game I want to keep an eye out for on my list
That's fair.
because I have a whole list of games that I want to look up and try to find physically so I can stream them proper.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of curious on how much Spider would go for. I've never seen it, so.
I wonder how you come up with an idea like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Oh wait, is this where they announced and show off the N64?
This must be when they rebranded it, yeah. So they only had it as the Ultra 64 for a year.
Today,
How's that guy again?
we're going to see not only the world's best and most powerful home video game system, but what Mr. Yamauchi,
It's kind of funny he's saying that considering the N64 was probably the least powerful of that generation.
I mean, probably, yeah.
At least they're pretty sure, like, on a technical standpoint, that the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn would be considered more powerful. Hey, it's Mario! And before he pulls a BLJ and starts going crazy.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Do captions on? I'm kind of curious how good it's gonna be.
Yeah, the game must have been pretty close to being done developed because it released like the same year, didn't it? In '96.
I want to say yes. It was the launch title for the N64, so I imagine so. That's the
Yeah.
Mario 64. It was the launch title for the N64.
Which you can see is quite fun.
Now this is history right here.
Notice how incredibly crisp and clean
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because like I just have to wonder what it was like looking at all the other games at this E3 and then seeing something like Mario 64.
Yeah, like really, really different. Reset the run.
I mean, he already failed the skip on the bridge, so penguin skip.
Yeah, no, this would have
Yeah.
been what?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think being a game developer for something like this would be really fun to kind of like look back and see kind of what people have done with your game in the future. Like, I imagine the people who made this game were probably honestly blown away when they saw what people were doing with the game, the speedruns.
Oh, for sure. Because like I'm pretty sure SM64 is really innovative with how it did
Yeah.
its stuff. How like the reason we call it like a camera to refer to like well the player controls the game is because of SM64, right? I'm pretty sure it's what I
Really?
heard. Yeah, because the Lakitu is holding an actual like video camera, and that's supposed to be like your camera that's following Mario.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay, I
pretty
knew
sure
that,
that's
but I
where it
didn't
came
know the
from.
term came from that. Okay.
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
I do like how this is the level they show off too, because that is a pretty iconic level. But it's not Pokemon Battlefield though, which I actually would say is more iconic.
Once you've gathered 8 stars, you can go and meet Bowser for the first time. It takes 8 stars to open the
Yeah,
door, so
I don't know. I guess maybe they thought the ice physics and stuff were pretty cool, and they were able to show off quite a bit with the race there, and they didn't want to show too much at the very beginning of the game, I imagine.
Yeah.
And no, we don't get to fight Bowser yet. We gotta cruise through this beautiful level in the sky. You'll notice as Henry plays this level, the camera's changing angles. Sometimes you see it from behind, other times you see it from the side, sometimes you see isometric view.
You know, I wonder if they'll ever do like an actual full remake of Mario 64.
I don't know, man. That'd be a hard sell because I don't know. Like it's kind of perfect as is, right?
Well, yeah, Nintendo's not normally one to do like actual remakes of their games, at least when it comes to Mario. But I don't know, I just think it'd be interesting if they try to do like a modern platformer.
Like the only reason,
or even like a sequel.
Oh,
No.
back when you didn't have pre-made like videos and fake level demos. But like legitimately though, the only reason why I would want like an Ocarina and Majora remake, like a full remake of those two, is just because there's so much more you can do with today's technology that would make an Ocarina and a Majora remake be really good. But with SM64, I don't know. I honestly don't think you could do much with it that isn't already good enough, right?
That's fair.
It would be interesting if they did it though.
Yeah.
Like besides the DS
I don't
remakes.
think Nintendo normally does that kind of thing, but I think it would be interesting if they tried. And I assume if they were going to pick a Mario game to do it, they'd probably do it with 64.
Probably.
But I guess we'll have to see whenever we get the next Mario game, whether it's Odyssey 2 or something else.
This is kind of a puzzle level. You get in here and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? If you're an average player, you're probably wandering around and you notice that there's a door under the water. Now, the everyday butt stomp will get rid of those.
The butt stomp.
That gives you access to this door. Go out the door, lo and behold, you're in the moat,
Hey.
and now the moat is drained.
When I first did this as a kid and I realized they drained the moat, I was like completely mind blown.
They would have seen the door.
I mean, it was pretty cool.
They wouldn't be able to open the door because they're underwater. They wouldn't have been able to go down the hole because there's a water current.
And I have to see this. This is really cool.
This is a very strong example of how we can like look into the distance.
Man, listen to that. Listen how impressed the people are. It's like, whoa, holy shit, look
Well,
how far
yeah.
back the camera can go. It's so cool to just like see this.
I mean, it's pretty crazy to think about because we had, at this point in time, we had very few 3D games, and most of the 3D games that we had were very clunky and very choppy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that people were really fascinated with this game.
As a gamer, it just makes me feel really cynical now, though. Because like you see something like this now, it's like, look how far back we can pull a camera. It's like, well, yeah, I'm not impressed. You know, it's like, I don't really care. I've seen that so many times. But this time, it's like just hearing the crowd just go, whoa. And I could even hear one guy just slightly go, holy shit. You know, like that's just amazing to me how impressive like even that was back then.
That just makes me think, like, I wonder what people in like 95, 96 would think if we took games from nowadays, even ones that are like really bad, like the Golem game that just came out, and like showed it to them then.
Yeah, that would probably like blow minds, dude.
Like, even if the game's bad, they'd probably be like, oh my god, this is the most amazing game I've ever seen.
Probably.
Shadow's Empire is pretty nostalgic too.
For me, it is for sure too, yeah.
I didn't play a lot of it. I think we did rent it at one point. We had it at one point, but...
Oh, I have it if you ever want to play it.
Yeah, I'll have to do that sometime. I do remember when I was playing Battlefront 2, and I realized you could take one of the speeders here and actually take down the AT-ATs. Once I figured out how to do it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing!
It is really cool. I always like that too.
Yeah. Oh, he's dying.
He's dying pretty hard, actually.
It's kind of nice to see them actually showing more, like, 3D games that actually seem to be doing well.
Yeah. It is pretty cool.
Honestly, that in itself kind of makes me a little sad because you can clearly tell from the people presenting that they were very passionate about these games. And, like, aside from the indie companies that we have nowadays, there's no passion anymore. It's all just corporate.
That is pretty true nowadays, yeah. Back then it was a very different beast, I feel.
Yeah. Oh no! Look, that amazing explosion, guys! That was totally intended. Oh.
Oh, yeah, Pilot Wings? Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Another launch game.
I would
I've
love
never
to own
played
a copy of
Pilot
Pilot Wings someday. I used to play it at my cousin's like quite a lot, actually. Like Pilot Wings 64.
Okay.
I remember, like, in particular, if you, like, really messed up, I think whichever character, because I think you can pick a character, right? I don't remember, that, like, shows up in the thing. Yeah, you can, I'm pretty sure. I remember one of them where if you do really bad, he looks, like, really messed up. Like, he looks just really, like, pissed off and his hair is all messed up. And it, like, creeped me out as a kid, dude. I was like, oh, no, I've, like, made this thing really mad at me.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think it'd be interesting to check it out. I imagine it can't be that expensive in a game.
Probably not. I can't really say.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see if we can find a copy at some point. Oh.
So I guess I was wrong. I guess they did have presentations, but they had them not as like a big deal. They're just kind of something that was also there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, this is probably better than like the actual press conference one that they did the first year, because this is more likely to get more attention.
Yeah, actually, I guess that's a good point too, right? Because in '95 we had the keynote, which is basically what this is. But now they kind of stepped up and they're like, okay, well, let's show off some of these games a little bit more and talk about them, talk about the technology.
Yeah. Oh wow, the water splashes. That's pretty cool.
That does look pretty impressive for the time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not as impressive as a camera zooming out, but. Yeah.
I mean, if Mario had missiles, I'm sure their water splashes would look great too.
If Mario had missiles, we'd be having a really different game, I think.
Why? Just do like a Bionic Commando game, but you play as Mario. curious when we'll see the next like Mario spin-off game.
Yeah, I'd be curious too. I don't know. I wonder what it would be. I don't know if they'll try to do like a typical thing or if they'll try doing something different. Like, I wonder if they try another Paper Mario.
Now, what's really cool
I mean, maybe I could see Origami King getting a sequel.
there are actually levels in this mode where you have to shoot your cannon. And notice this is Mount Rushmore, so we're obviously in Little America. You have to shoot all the way across America.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
That is.
It's about 30 by 50 miles. This is
Damn,
a big
dude.
level. There are representations of, you got Florida with a space shuttle, New York, San Francisco, LA, Chicago, St. Louis, etc., etc., etc. And you can fly into these areas and find rather incredible amounts of detail.
You couldn't die.
Did.
Boop.
Oh, poor guy.
Dude, rip.
Love that too. To fly around the level. You have no fuel, you have no
That reminds me of the first time that I played Morrowind. I walked out of like the first town, and you know, you walk down the path and there's that one guy that he kind of just falls from the sky, and then you look in his inventory and he has these scrolls, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I tried using them, and then all of a sudden they jump like thousands of feet in the air and just die.
That's pretty funny. I say I don't remember that, but I also didn't play like a lot of Morrowind.
I didn't really play a lot. I just remember doing that. I remember we were trying to see if we could get to one of the other islands by doing that, but we couldn't find a way to do it where we'd actually survive. We almost landed in the water by one of the islands on the north side of the map.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Honestly, it was pretty fun. I know it's supposed to be just a joke, because I think he even has a note on him saying, oh, to be careful using these scrolls or you'll fly away, or something like that. Yeah, I do want to go back and play Morrowind one of these days, too.
Yeah,
I
you
really
should.
hope that when we do get to, like, 2003 or 2002, we see it.
I'm sure we would.
I just don't know how much Bethesda would have been into doing gaming conferences. I think they did for Oblivion when it came out, but I don't know if they would have done for Morrowind.
I think you're right about Oblivion. Yeah, because that's when they had the infamous, like, whoa, Radiant AI,
Yeah,
which turned out to be a lie.
yeah.
Fun. No, that's fun.
Oh, it's 64-bit.
That makes sense. That's
nice.
cute. That was cute.
That was really cute. The dream is reality. Honestly, like, from what they're showing here, it looks like they had a pretty good lineup for the launch period of the 64.
It does look like. Oh wait, hold on. I wanna. That's a Mario. Yeah, look at the beta here for Mario Kart 64. Look at the cubes. They're black. They're not like that. They're not the color that you normally associate with the cubes now. That's interesting.
Okay, yeah. I
Huh.
don't remember seeing them black. I guess I've never really looked for beta footage, though.
I mean, me neither, but I don't know. I just think that's kind of neat because they're more of like a see-through kind of whitish color. Maybe they
Yeah.
thought it blended in too much with the track.
It probably blended in, and plus they wanted it to probably be more colorful and friendly, so they made it the rainbow.
Yeah, I could see that.
Time to play.
Star Fox 64, sick.
I really need to play this sometime.
It's a good game, dude. I mean, I have it.
Yeah, I have the 3DS version too. Just
Yeah, but
haven't got around to playing it.
you could also play mine.
I mean, I could.
I don't know how the 3DS version is. Maybe it's a good port. I'm not too sure.
I've heard it's a good port. I don't know if it adds like extra content or anything like that, but
Also a big fan of Wave Race 64.
yeah, I never played Wave Race. The only game I
Well, I
think I
haven't.
played would have been, I think, Jet Moto 3 on the PS1, because my cousins had it.
Oh,
was
Blast
fun.
Core is great too. I love Blast Core. I don't own that one, unfortunately, but I do love Blast Core.
But that's cool.
Yeah, it's all about just destruction
Uh,
using various vehicles. It's neat. So this is something too, right? 'Cause this is Kirby Air Ride,
Yeah.
but that didn't come out until much later, didn't it? Because
Yeah,
wasn't this a
because it
GameCube game?
originally came out on the GameCube, so they must have ended up delaying it and then deciding to build it for the next console.
Yeah, because I think this is actually pretty neat. You can see some Kirby Air Ride like footage from back in the day. It looks like it could have been pretty neat.
It looks like it was almost designed like a snowboarding game, like with the same physics.
Yeah. I wonder why they would have canceled it and like moved it to GameCube.
I don't know, maybe they just weren't getting the effect that they wanted with the air ride. Maybe it felt too stiff.
Maybe. Body Harvest. I want to get Body Harvest too, actually. I used to play that one a lot.
Okay. This would look cool.
Pew, 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 pew.
Beep, 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 beep.
Mario Kart R. So that was even a different name. Super Mario
Yeah,
Kart
that's
R.
interesting.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder what the R stood for. Racing. Probably. Super Mario Kart
probably.
Racing. I see. I'm glad they changed it to just Mario Kart 64. It just sounds better.
Well, I think they named it that because there was the Super Mario Kart circuit or whatever that eventually came out on the Game Boy Advance, and they had the NES one. I thought they were trying to make it like part of the same thing, but they probably wanted to try some new things for this, mainly because of the 3D models and stuff. I think that's probably why they changed it.
Probably.
GoldenEye!
Another classic. I love GoldenEye. I play that game so much.
I remember playing it a lot because we rented it like at least a couple times, played it at our cousins and stuff, but I never actually played it start to finish.
And that's a very old looking Turok logo too.
Yeah.
Because I think it has like a dinosaur eye peeking through the O now, or yeah, the O. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty
I love
sure you're
Turok
right.
as well. I love Turok. See, a lot of these games now we're actually to the point where I own a decent amount of these because I own quite a few that they've shown here, at least in this thing. I don't own Killer Instinct though, but yeah. I wasn't the fighting games back, and I don't own Pilot Wings either. I would like to get Pilot Wings at some point.
Yeah, most of my oldest games would have been on the Game Boy Color and like the Game Boy Advance, along with like a couple PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. That's a pretty cool rocket ship model.
That is.
Oh no!
Super Mario
dead.
64 flagship game.
Yeah.
Now, if only you knew how fast this game would be played many years later.
Oh, I know, right? They probably did the typical thing where they designed the game to be like 8 to 10 hours, and they didn't think people would be able to finish it in like an hour and a half now.
Probably. The eel. Those are also different Thwomp models too, I think.
Oh, okay.
50 games in development. Yeah.
I like how corridor is a genre.
Apparently. Wayne Gretzky hockey sick.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff to show off this year.
They did. Soul Edge.
Oh,
Was it called Soul Edge before Soul Calibur?
maybe.
Because that's definitely Soul Calibur.
Yeah, maybe they differentiated it when they ported it to PlayStation.
Yeah, maybe because Soul Edge was the arcade game
Yeah.
by Namco. Yeah. First installment in the Soul
I think
Calibur
that's
series.
fair. Soul Calibur's a much more unique name.
That's cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Rock. Fight stick.
Nice.
Oh, that's an interesting
Oh,
looking
wow.
PlayStation controller. The hell? The AV selector. What the fuck? Hold on. I want to look at this controller. Oh, it's a horror
Wow, it's-
controller. Is that? Oh, is this like made for arcade?
It must
Like for
be.
fighting
'cause
games?
I mean, huh.
Because it has all the buttons that an arcade button that an arcade stick would have, like in that same arrangement on the faceplate.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So I didn't even know they made that, and it's Hori, and they make fight sticks. So, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize Hori was making controllers way back then. I've heard they made very good accessories, especially when it comes to Switch stuff.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that is cool, man. That looks like one hell of a controller, though.
Yeah, no kidding. I'd be curious what all those little knobs do, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
Oh, look, a racing wheel.
Yeah, I would actually love to get a racing wheel at some point. Project
Yeah.
Overkill. Because I don't know, imagine, I don't know, playing American Truck Sim with that would be pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe one day.
Yeah. I was never into racing games enough to get the whole racing wheel setup, but I've always thought they're really cool.
I mean, to be fair, American Truck Sim isn't a racer; it's a simulator. You can race if you want. You'll just get like find money.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, like people who did it for like Need for Speed or
Yeah.
like Gran Turismo and stuff.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
One of these days, I'll get Gran Turismo 7 just to play it on VR because I think that'll be really fun.
Yeah, so you don't even need a wheel. See, I want a wheel so I can feel the experience. Plus, it would be cool to get used to driving with a wheel, right? For if
Oh, yeah.
for whenever I actually decide I want to get a car and take my license test.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool looking Scorpion for Contra.
That is.
I don't think this Contra was well received though. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure Contra
Yeah, I'm
started
not
getting a lot of
sure.
really poor games like later on.
Yeah, that's basically what I've heard. Didn't like Contra 1 and 2, they came out on the NES or Super E NES?
Yeah, I believe Contra 1 was NES, and then I think he had Super Contra on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the
I've never played
Sega.
any of the Contra games, so I don't have much background on them.
I mean, that's fair. So some kind of like adventure game for the Saturn, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it. I don't recognize it.
I don't either, and I don't think they showed the name. I could be wrong.
I don't think they did either. Virtua Fighter Kids?
Okay, that's
Okay.
interesting. So here's Virtua Fighter, but in chibi form. It's honestly a nice style though. I like it.
Yeah. Well, the chibi style's always been kind of interesting.
I wonder why they went with that route though. Like Virtua Fighter Kids.
I would assume because they were trying to appeal to a wider audience, especially after the negativity that Mortal Kombat had for the first while.
Maybe.
Bug 2.
Oh, we saw Bug last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Man, imagine churning out like a sequel to a game in like a year.
Yeah. You're lucky to do that in like 3-4 years now. Oh no, he almost died.
He did.
This is very weird level design. I don't know. It's like somewhat 3D.
Baku Baku Animal. Oh, it's like one of
Okay.
these games.
Oh, it's a Tetris. Oh, Tetris Attack type thing.
Yeah,
Well, that's interesting.
that is. It's the
Oh, okay, so
the
they eat the
animals
same colored blocks.
I like that. Virtua Cop
Virtua
2.
Cop.
See, and once again, another sequel. We saw Virtua Cop last year.
Yeah.
But this one you can probably get a sequel pretty quickly, to be fair.
I mean, you probably could for most games, to be honest. I thought that's probably part of the reason why they stuck to stuff like fighters and platformers and stuff, because it's pretty easy to make a sequel to them.
Yeah, true.
This looks like it'd probably be pretty fun, though.
Yeah, it does. Like, I'd play it. Dude, sick.
I remember playing games like this in the arcade.
Yeah, same. I still have the idea that the policemen are driving this car, but yeah, both of them just pointing their guns out, like shooting out the front
Shooting.
windshield. Oh,
Yeah, it's
they
pretty
leaned
funny.
out that time. But yeah.
Yeah.
NBA action.
That looks pretty good for a basketball game.
It does. I wonder how they'd feel knowing that like what, 10-ish, 13-ish years later, the biggest thing would be like, whoa, the players can sweat now. Look how cool that looks.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, especially when it comes to sport games. Like, unless you're making your own sport or something, there's only so many ways you could change the gameplay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it'd be nice if they got a little bit more extra content than just new player rosters.
Yeah, I'll give the Madden games this. I feel like they did try to be a bit more innovative. Oh, Knights. Man, classic.
Oh, cool.
From compared to other sports titles. Because I mentioned this on stream, but I don't think I ever talked to you about it. But
Yeah.
like, one of the Madden games had like a first person mode
Oh,
where you
okay.
played where you just like played a character, I think, and you just played it in first person. I remember it being really awkward, but interesting. Interesting. Like they at least tried, you know?
Yeah. Although I guess it'd be interesting if they ever tried to make like an RPG type game that's based on like football or basketball or something.
I mean, that would be cool. Well, they have one based on hockey, kind of. Well, I guess not an RPG. Because I was going to say I have tape to tape, but that's a roguelike, so not quite.
Yeah, but at least they're trying some new stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if people try to do similar stuff now that tape to tape exists, right?
I mean, true, that would be pretty cool.
I'm not sure how many people know about tape to tape because it is a pretty small game, but it seemed pretty cool from what I saw you play.
But yeah, I guess you did see a little bit.
I saw a little bit, not very much.
Yeah. Here, hold on. I just want to hear what he says about the controller.
The flippers are up here, kind of like a trigger. It actually fits really nice in my hand.
Okay, just kind of talking about like the Saturn controller, I guess.
Yeah.
So they take them away and they lock them to the generators, which you have to free them from. And her dreams, she's able to turn herself into a knight. So basically what you want to do is you become a knight, collect these blue spheres, which you can do by hitting them, or if you make a loop with these stars behind you, that vortex appears. Anything within that vortex you collect. You collect the spheres, you hold down the B button.
Yeah, this does look like it'd be pretty fun.
You do kind of
Yeah, Knight's pretty classic.
and you drop them off in here. Once that meter's full,
Yeah.
it'll free that crystal which you dropped in that original structure you started. If you have any questions, I'll be wide ready.
Man, yeah, they're doing really good at selling like games on the show floor too, eh?
Yeah, like it does seem like they actually train their staff pretty well.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about Knights, man, just come get me. I'll be over there. Just let me know. I like it.
Yeah, that kind of stuff makes it kind of more worthwhile to go to a show like this.
Yeah.
Because you get in-depth things from the developers or at least the representatives about the game and, you know, kind of learn maybe a little bit about the design process too, right?
Yeah.
World Series Baseball.
What? Foul ball.
Foul.
Trying to show me a strike.
Ball.
Oh, another ball.
Ball.
Strike. Oh, out. Damn.
Safe.
Worldwide soccer too. Yeah, a lot of sports games at the time were starting to look pretty good.
Yeah, it does seem like they changed quite a bit even just like in the last year.
So I had Virtua Fighter Kids, and that they're still doing Virtua Fighter 3 as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, so it seemed like they were trying to do a spin-off series, probably geared more towards kids, which makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Is that the Virtua Fighter I've heard so much about? Model 3.
Maybe they didn't have names for the characters yet.
Yeah, maybe. Because they didn't have like a creative character in Virtua Fighter, did they?
I don't believe so, but I don't know much about Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, I know like very little about Virtua Fighter. Because I'm just thinking that could be like the third model that you could choose, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, Mr. Bones!
Mr. Bones!
I want to get Mr. Bones, dude. I've seen it at Next Wave, but I really want to get Mr. Bones.
I mean, it does seem pretty quirky.
It is, man. You have no idea. I don't have a Saturn, though. So that's kind of like the one issue. Is I would need to get a Saturn. Sonic Extreme! Yeah, I think YouTube probably copyrighted some of the music or something.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Sorry if you hear me crunching. I'm eating hickory sticks.
Ooh. This looks pretty cool, though.
It does.
Like, I don't know specifically how well this version of Sonic was received, because I don't remember hearing about Extreme, but
Probably
they were
not well.
trying. I mean, it was probably not well.
But they were trying, you're right. They're like, oh,
It
Mario,
seems like-
look what Mario can do. Well, look at us. Look at us have
Yeah,
our
like, it
3D
seems
world.
like they're trying to do, like, the 2.5D almost.
Yeah. Like, I respect it, but that's not a problem, right? You do this, and then you have your main competitor, Mario. You can't compete. You can't compete with SM64, right? Like, there's no
Well,
way.
no.
Like, it's really unfortunate for Sega. They had a lot of competition, like with Nintendo. Like, Nintendo
Yeah.
was blowing them out of the water. Like, look at the games they had. Like, literally all the games they showed, absolute bangers.
Yeah.
Oh, internet for the
access,
Saturn?
There's the modem.
For the
That's
Sega
cool.
Saturn? So they're trying it with the Sega Saturn too?
A 28-bit modem for fast connection. Ooh.
I wonder if they actually got it to work. I want to look in. Yeah, I actually want to look into some of these at some point. I want to look into Super Nintendo online functionality and Sega Saturn functionality because they were trying, for
They
sure.
were.
Which I'm impressed by.
Yeah, I'm
they're-
impressed they got as far as they did with this, considering at the time wasn't like having an internet connection more of like a subscription service.
Yes, I'm pretty sure because you had like AOL online and stuff, right?
Yeah, because you had to pay for like hours or minutes or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's absolutely crazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, I still say, because I'm pretty sure, I want to say they didn't really get internet gaming, like online stuff, right, for consoles until about the PS2. Right? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I think
PS2
that's
was like the first one.
when they kind of started with the network adapter, but it still was pretty uncommon to have internet games
Oh,
on
yeah.
the PS2.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty
no,
late in the lifespan from what I remember.
Like the only ones I remember having it was like ATV versus, like the ATV versus games or something. Like the racing
Yeah,
games.
like I know they had it for stuff like Phantasy Star Online. The only game in particular I remember getting that had it would have been Ratchet and Clank 3. They had online multiplayer.
And I also want to point out that they did have it for Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and File 2.
Yeah. Oh, he's got like the actual joysticks. That's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. So I guess it's an arcade machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have my modem on the back of my PS2. It went on
Yeah,
there
I
and
never
it
got
stayed.
the network adapter.
Just stayed on it. Couldn't watch DVDs with it on, but it stayed. Too much of a pain in the ass to remove.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's like screw it in.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just like a plug-in thing, but I never had one.
No, I'm pretty sure it's screw it in. Now, granted, I haven't looked in ages. Like I said, I never really planned to remove it. The only time we ever did was when we wanted to watch like DVDs, because it doesn't play
Yeah.
DVDs with the adapter in.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. The adapter might use too much of the console's power.
Probably.
It's still impressive that they got it to work on the PS2, though.
Yeah. Then the Xbox came and they're like, baby, we got it built right in.
Yeah.
But I feel like they had an advantage with Microsoft and all.
Well, they definitely did, yeah. They probably spent a long time trying to... Well, when they made a deal with Microsoft, probably got them to get a patent on the internet connectivity through their console.
I mean, potentially. And then everybody did it.
Yeah. Now, from what I remember playing on the PS3, like, the online connection was pretty good for the most part, and obviously didn't have the subscription to pay for it on the PS3.
I guess that's a good point. And then they realized that people like this. We can monetize that.
Yeah.
But hey, typically it gives you better service. So,
I mean, yeah, I will say the online experience on PlayStation's always been pretty good. Like, even when I was playing, like, Magic Card Online, and stuff. I generally had a pretty good experience. It's very rare I disconnect or have like wonky gameplay.
Well, also, like, you can even look at, like, Nintendo, to be honest, right? Like, with
Yeah.
Nintendo Online, it's like, you look at the Wii, absolute garbage for internet stuff. Switch, you know what? Pretty good overall. I think the Switch has actually done pretty okay.
The Switch has done okay. It could be a lot better, especially for what we're paying for it now. On the Wii U, it was pretty bad for most games, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But that's mostly because Nintendo does peer-to-peer servers when you're playing online with people, rather than having dedicated servers.
Yeah. So, like, but I will say, I feel like I am in the minority where I'm like, I don't really mind paying for online services on a console. If only because I know that money is going towards giving me a better experience, right? I suppose if
Well,
it were
yeah.
like free and not as good. Now, if they start fucking around with it, and then it's like, okay, well, actually, it's pretty crappy now, and the servers are dropping and everything, then I'd be like, okay, not worth, not paying for it anymore. My money
Yeah.
clearly isn't going into what I want it to go into.
I just don't play enough games online. Like, I use it more for the Switch, mostly because we're either playing stuff online or we're doing stuff like Pokemon. I'll use it.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to the PlayStation these days, I don't really play games online. Like, if it wasn't for the free games you got every month, I probably would cancel it.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't know. I just don't really play a lot of games online. If I was playing more, maybe, but most of my friends that I play games online with would be PC gamers. I never really got into playing console games with a group.
Yeah, I will just say though, talking about Switch Online, we should play more of the virtual console games.
Yeah, I do want to. Just finding the time for them, really.
Yeah. Oh, he hits it, and he's out.
Damn.
Fly ball, fly ball.
Coming to
US
US finally.
Oh, that's it. That's New Japan Pro Wrestling. They had a video game.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
At least I think that's New Japan's logo. Yeah, I did see New Japan. Wow, okay. I don't know they had a video game back then. That's like, I think, one of the biggest wrestling companies in Japan.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
VR golf. Where's the headset though? Oh, and the water. VR baseball.
I will say the other baseball and well, other sports games we saw probably looked just a little bit better than these ones.
A little bit better because these are like janky 3D, but the other ones have like, I don't know, more of like a charming graphical style, I guess.
Yeah.
Like this one. I'd say it's a bit more charming, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, out. Whoa, oh, out. Oh, man. 3D baseball. A lot of baseball games. Once again, a lot of sports games.
Yeah.
And once again, before it was all kind of taken over by like EA and 2K, I guess.
Yeah, there was a lot of competition for sports games up until EA bought the licenses in, I want to say it was like 2003 or 2005.
Well, did they? Because I know they had like Madden in like 97.
I guess rather they bought exclusive rights to sports from the companies.
Maybe.
Sports companies. It
Yeah,
was
I
something
can't
like
really
that.
say.
Oh, swimming game.
I think this is the an Olympic game. Because
That's cool.
97 was the Olympics coming up. Were the Olympics a thing in 97? I'm trying to think. No, it would have been 98, I think. Because I think you
I
had
like how the
Nagano.
font they were using for like the character names in the swimming game kind of just looked like the font for like in Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, a little bit. Dark Rift. Oh, I'm trying to see if there was a game that came out in 97. No, there wasn't for 96. Olympic Summer Games. So that must have been the one that we were just seeing.
Yeah,
Oh, dead.
took place in Atlanta. Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah, I was curious. I tried looking up Olympics 97, and it was just bringing me up like Eminem Rap Olympics.
Ah.
So I'm like, okay, now you said 96, that must be the wrong year. But yeah, I guess if the Olympics were coming out the same year, it wouldn't make sense that a lot of publishers would try to capitalize on that and publish sports games.
Yeah. You know, there was the period when helicopter games were pretty popular too. I guess because they would be pretty easy to do. Turok.
Yeah.
Toruk. What? Toruk.
Yeah. I guess maybe they changed the name.
Maybe because it's Turok, right? That could be a typo.
It could be a typo.
So I was confused. I'm like,
I mean-
wait a minute, Toruk.
I mean, to be fair, a couple times he's put the PlayStation with 2 T's.
Okay,
Which is
maybe
like, okay.
maybe he did typo them because even when we saw it at the presentation earlier, I'm pretty sure it was still Turok.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. I don't know. I guess he must have done the editing after the fact, just tried to remember what was what.
Probably. See, it would have been so weird to play a shooter on like a game like the N64 back then. If you didn't know what you were
Yeah.
really doing.
Yeah.
There must be like demo locations to show some of the environments and enemies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That does. Yeah, look at that. Just no movement. Letting the enemy come at you. Go. Beyond the
Beyond the
beyond.
beyond.
RPG, huh?
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Huh. That's a really interesting style. I kind of like it. Beyond the Beyond. I'm going to look that up.
Oh, it came out on PlayStation as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Came out November 1995.
That was the first RPG for the Weston on the PlayStation.
That's pretty cool. Might have to look into that sometime. I'd be kind of curious.
The reception seems pretty mediocre, but I'd try it. I'd give it a look. I'm more Wipeout.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm just surprised I've never heard anyone talk about it, like, well, online in general. But it might just be that kind of mediocre.
Well, yeah, right. Like, it probably is just mediocre, and, you know, a year later, we'd get, like, Final Fantasy VII, right?
That's true. I guess it kind of got overshadowed, because they also got Legend of Dragoon pretty close after that, right?
I believe so. Tenka.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of clever how it has the laser sight as the reticle.
Yeah. That is a smart way to do it.
That is.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't really have been standard to have a reticle for your aiming.
I mean, probably not.
Well, because if you think about it, like most of the...
Was that Legacy of Kain?
Yeah, Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen.
Oh, neat.
But at the time, like, the best shooters would have been stuff like Doom, where it's literally just in front of you, there's no up or down aiming, right?
Yeah. It still would have been a bit of a novelty, I suppose. I can change forms
Yeah,
in this game.
still.
I don't know that much about Legacy of Kain.
I don't know much about it either. I just heard they're both really good.
Dude, look at him,
They've
he's
been
a
on
werewolf.
the playlist for a really long time.
Dude, look at him go.
Yeah, I know.
It's like missing the lady or whoever that is. He's like, I want to kill. No can kill. Pandemonium. I think I've heard of Pandemonium. I don't know. I could be thinking of something else though.
Maybe. It does look like they were trying to take an attempt at I guess more of like a 3DS platformer.
Seems like it. Kind of like yeah, the Crash stages where it's like 2.5D still.
Yeah. He really wants to get off topic at that gym.
He does.
Oh, there's Jet Moto.
Ah, dude, sick.
I love just the wall of grass.
A lot of struggling with racing games, I see. Street Fighter
Yeah.
clone.
The character models actually look pretty good.
They do, but they actually see that's the thing. They look good, but oh no, it's Garou, Mark of the Wolves. Oh shit, that's Garou or something. I'm pretty sure this is
Yeah.
Mark of the Wolves. Yeah, because that's Terror. Yeah, okay, now I remember. Yeah, I actually know this game. I think it is considered to be pretty good.
Okay. I like in the middle it just says die.
Die. Man, this Tatooine, but with like even more planets. Double ring
Oh.
out.
I can't say I've ever played a fighting game that has ring outs. It's kind of fun.
It's fun, yeah. I believe Soul Calibur has them. I think Tekken has them too. I think. I don't know about Tekken. Maybe only
Okay.
Soul Calibur. Crash Bandicoot!
Yeah.
Dude, what was that? What was that? Hold on. Win a Caribbean cruise. For Crash, I actually want to go like one speed because I know you're like Crash.
I do like Crash. I never actually played the first Crash, but we had Crash
Oh.
2 and 3, and I played those a lot.
I played a lot of Crash 1 actually. I played a lot of Crash 1 and Crash 2. I also played Crash 3. I guess I played quite a bit of the first 3 Crashes. Ah. Do. He's like, whoa, that killed all the skunks.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of cool how you can just like shoot the enemies into each other.
It's gotta be safe. Oh, TNT, I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, he didn't want to try. I don't blame him. The folly of man. Oh, this level's hard. I remember trying to do this on the Insane Sheet. I was struggling.
Well, slippery moss, apparently. I think moss is pretty slippery, actually.
Yeah.
Monkey. Did you hear what that guy said?
No.
He said something about the Saturn. He said, it doesn't look that good, but this is awesome.
I guess it goes to show you the graphics even back then weren't everything.
Yeah. Double Uka. Or Aku. I guess it's Aku.
Yeah, Uka is the bad one. I don't know, was he in the first game?
Nah, he was in the second game, I think. Because that's when Cortex is like, oh, I have my own mask now.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say, I didn't know when he was introduced.
Look, I just think dead. Top Gun, fire at will. I just think Uka is a better name, to be honest. I like saying Uka more than Aku, you know?
Yeah.
If I ever get around to playing Crash on stream, I'll probably make that mistake numerous times.
I like how the game just doesn't let him fly down.
Wasn't he flying down? Or is it
He
telling
was
him
trying
no?
to, but the game wasn't letting him move any farther down. 'Cause he was basically at the bottom.
Ah.
That might have been damaging his plane, though. I'm not sure.
He's pulling some pretty dangerous maneuvers there.
I gave him a bit of a grace period, okay? It's not Ace Combat where you can't just actually crash into the ground.
Well, that's the thing, right? Yeah, it's actually funny, right? Because I've actually talked about this with one of my friends before who also plays Ace Combat and various flying games. It's something everybody does. You'll be playing like Ace Combat or something and you're having fun and maybe you'll win, but you're like, I'm gonna do a loop for no reason, and then you just crash into the ground. You gotta redo the whole level. Because I've done that so many times. I'm like, let's just do a loop for fun. I finished the level. Let's do a loop. And then you die and it's like, shit, I got to start all over again.
Yeah, the regret.
So much pain. But it's like this weird like compelling feeling, you know? Where it's like, I want to do a loop. You don't need to, but I want to. Or like, oh, I want to go under that bridge for no reason. Just to look cool, you know?
I mean, stuff like that was fun. Like, I remember when we played Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, my brother and I would kind of try this challenge where we would go to the very top of the Empire State Building, and we'd try and jump off and see how close to the ground we can get to swing without dying.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty fun.
The FPS on this racing game seems pretty low.
It
I'm
does.
gonna be real. It
Not a
almost seems
fan.
like it's chugging.
It is chugging pretty hard.
Like, but I can kind of understand why, because it looks like they have quite a bit on the tracks.
Yeah. Like, it does seem like they were trying to go for higher fidelity, but they didn't quite have the performance for it.
Pew 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 pew. You know what? People are like, if I go back in time, I'd want to be there for like this famous battle or to see this famous protest. Yeah, I want to go back in time just to visit every E3, just to talk with some of these booth people, because they seem fun.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, like they just seem fun. And it'd be like, and then I could like mess with them and be like, yeah, I'm from the future, and yeah, this game is pretty popular. People play it really quickly. Wait, how close can they beat it? On about like 20 minutes. Whoa.
Yeah,
Or, like-
I bet if you told Shigeru Miyamoto way back when that people are beating Super Mario Bros. In less than 5 minutes nowadays, he wouldn't believe you.
Probably not. I don't know. That'd be cool. I don't know. You know what? If I ever had like the opportunity, if I ever had like a genie that was like, you can go back in time to a few different places, I'd be like, you know what? Take me to E3 like 96, 97, maybe 98. I don't know if I'd go to 95. 95 seemed interesting, but maybe we go back to 95. Sure, why not? It seemed cool. It seemed cool enough. Because I don't know, man. I just think it'd be neat to see some of these. And like I said, talk with the booth people.
Yeah, no, I think it would be a lot of fun to be able to even experience some of these games, like, in their time. Like, I feel like I missed out on a lot of that just because we didn't have a lot of games back then.
Oh, Bubsy 3D. The game that Mario 64 absolutely did slaughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that too, right? Like, getting to experience these games in their prime when they came out would be pretty interesting to experience. I mean, I've done it with a few of them.
Yeah.
I know you didn't really have like consoles for a while when you were growing up, right?
No.
It's kind of the one difference between you and me.
Yeah, I just
I'm
played
a
lot
true
of
gamer.
Pokemon. What? Well, to be fair, we had some of them for a while. Like, I do remember playing Mario Bros. On the NES. It's just my dad would either borrow a console for a while, or he'd, like, take our console and trade it into the flea market kind of thing for different games and stuff.
Interesting.
So, like,
I
we never
mean-
really got to keep anything until we got the PlayStation.
Ah, okay.
and then he sold her in 64 at a garage sale for like $100
Oh,
with Smash Bros. Pokemon Stadium and First Gemini.
dude, big regrets.
Yeah, I know. I kind of wish that we still had it.
See, I still have my copies of those games somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, namely Pokemon Stadium. I have it. It's as of this recording, it's still missing, but I know I have it somewhere.
Yeah, we'll find it soon. Take a good look.
Same with Conqueror's Bad Fur Day. That one is still also officially MIA currently.
Yeah. This game looks really weird.
Yeah.
Robotron.
Robotron 3D.
This is
PlayStation
cool, but that's a
9,
lot of
64.
flashing lights.
Yeah, on Flux too. That's the theme's a bit awkward. So I like how now it isn't alpha, but I did kind of like how her bullets are coming out of her wrist as opposed to her gun.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
A little, just a little. See,
Honestly, this looks really good.
I'm pretty sure I did play this game. I think it was pretty fun.
Yeah. Because I was like, if you didn't tell me any different, this looks like it could be a PS2 game.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, it's the art style, right? The art style really makes a lot for a game
Yeah.
like that. And I'm pretty sure it's drawn like the old, well, the X-Men cartoon, for example, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they really liked was it Shadow of the Empire back then too?
Yeah.
I also love this level, by the way. It's a really good level. Probably one of my favorites is the level on Hoth.
Yeah, I didn't play a ton of it, so I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember it being fun.
That level actually used to scare me as a kid too, because like you could go into a room that would like unleash a Wampa.
Oh.
And they're like really big and scary, and I remember that like scared me a lot. Even though I could shoot and kill them, they still scared me, to be honest.
I mean, that's fair.
And I think if you didn't kill it, I think it would just like roam around the base or something, or it would like follow you. I don't quite remember.
I don't think I've ever really seen a racing game that has like an almost overhead perspective like this.
See, I've seen a few like this before. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I've seen games similar. I don't think I've seen this one in particular, though. Like I kept missing his train.
Suikoden!
I want to get this game
these
so
games are
bad.
really good. I want to play them one day.
See, I want to get it so bad, but with the remaster coming out soon, may as well just wait for that, right?
I'm waiting for the remaster.
Yeah, because I don't want to spend like $200 on Suikoden 2, to be honest, and probably even more than that for the first one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much they go for, but I think pretty much all of them go for a lot. Like even when we've seen Suikoden 4 at Next Wave, I think it was about $120 or something.
Yeah.
This game looks kind of cool.
It does.
Total Destruction.
I like it just a tank.
I like how the tank just drove across the river like it was nothing.
Hey, what's the river gonna do to a tank? Push it. Probably weighs like 100 tons.
I saw girls in Panzer. Okay.
I mean, that is true. The tanks, they can push around that pretty hard. No more crash.
Yeah. I like how there's still some sound, but it's like very quiet.
This might be more of a promo video just because this PlayStation TM on the lower
I mean,
left.
it probably is, yeah.
So it's probably just showcasing Crash. Twisted Metal.
Huh.
Man, Twisted Metal 2, dude. Classic.
I remember playing a lot of Twisted Metal. We rented that at least quite a few times. 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think I played 2 a bit. I think I played 2 the most. I did play 1 a bit. Whoop. Just a home run. NBA shootout. Yeah, I'm just impressed with all the sports games they had.
Yeah.
Just so many.
Honestly, I'm kind of just impressed like how much the games seem to have improved even in the last year.
Oh yeah, right. Like we've seen a couple of sequels, we've seen some improvements, some trends that are still there, and some that are kind of changing.
Yeah.
Seeing a few more FPS games and Doom clones. Still a lot of fighters, a lot of sports games. I bet you next year we're gonna see a lot of 3D platformers, thanks to Mario.
And Crash.
And Crash, yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably see quite a few for at least the next couple of years. Oh, I'm waiting for us to see Spyro.
When did that come out?
98.
Ooh.
So it might be in the next one.
Next one would be 97, because it's 96, I believe.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
but
so it
I
came
don't
out in
know.
98, yeah, so we might see it in 97. Yeah, you're right.
We'll see.
I get what you're saying.
Depends on how soon they showed it before it came out, right?
Yeah.
Carnage Heart.
I don't know how I feel about this one.
Yeah,
Oh, I like that robot, though.
that was cool.
Yeah, okay, so the models look really cool. Models look quite solid. Jet Moto. That's the one you pointed out. Oh.
Ow. Yeah. Definitely looks janky compared to 3 what I played.
I mean, a
But that
bit,
makes
yeah.
sense. 'Cause that would have come out pretty close to the end of the PlayStation lifespan, I think, since we played it at our cousin's house.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Get dunked.
Too
Too
extreme.
extreme. Oh,
Okay, you know what? I
skateboarding.
kind of like the models for this one, too. I like just like skateboarding, but like with combat. It's kind of like Road Rash, I guess, but with skateboards.
Yeah, it seems like it.
UCLA.
This has all the makings of a classic confrontation.
Psygnosis?
Hmm.
Yeah, it seems like they're building this one up, so hold on. We're gonna go on one speed here and just see.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Whoa, gamer share. Let's go. Oh, this is like the thing from Matrix.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
seems like it. That would make sense, because didn't the first Matrix come out in like 97?
Wasn't it like 2001?
Was it really?
I think it
I'm gonna
was.
look this up.
It might have
I
been
thought it was
97.
2001.
I think it was 2001 though. Or one of them might have been 2001 maybe.
Or maybe it was 99. Yeah, the first Matrix was 99.
Okay, so we're both like in the middle, kind of.
Yeah. I was saying, I thought the first one came out in the 90s, but I couldn't remember when in the 90s.
That's weird. I've always associated the Matrix with like a 2000 film series, but I mean 99 is close enough, I guess. And the other movies would have been in the 2000s, so that's probably why.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember seeing comparisons with Keanu Reeves, like, before Cyberpunk came out, because they're like, oh, this is what he looked like in the 90s, and I'm like, oh, wow, he almost looks the same.
I mean, he does. He does. That's
does
kind of
seem to be
thing
one
with
of those people where their
like
face
Keanu
doesn't
Reeves.
really change.
Dude never ages. What?
Yeah. Oh, he just seems to be one of those people where his face never really changes as he ages.
Yeah, no, that's true. Keanu Reeves will always stay the same. Looks don't change for that guy. Okay, we can like double speed through this. It's just still which promo stuff, which is fine, but we can just speed through that. Spring 97. Oh, PC CD-ROM. I remember those. I used to use those a lot.
Yeah. It is kind of interesting how we've basically completely moved away from CDs in terms of media for our PCs.
Yeah.
Like, the only time I ever use my CD drive is if I'm watching some of my DVDs or something on it.
I don't even have a CD drive anymore. I kind of want to get one. Well, I haven't had one for ages even. I want to get like one of those external ones though, just in case, right?
Yeah, I just bought a cheap one to put in my computer because I knew I would use it for my anime and stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't have one. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting a Blu-ray drive if, like, I could actually find a video player to play Blu-rays. Destruction Derby.
Virgin Interactive Entertainment, the leader in gaming, is bringing you the most realistic sports gameplay you ever experienced. You'll play for real. Introducing NHL.
Damn, play for real, huh?
You in the heart of the action in a complete 3D environment that's totally realistic. You'll have maximum gameplay control, more excitement than any other game in its category. NHL Power Play 96 captures the true essence of professional hockey.
It does look pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie.
It does.
The Sony PlayStation and Sega Saturn. A full selection of offensive and defensive plays and artificial intelligence that'll blow you away. It's the only game with motion captured players in a 3D environment. You'll experience seasons and playoffs with real NHL teams and NHLPA players. And it's the only game with ready-to-play World Tournament mode, including international competition. And coming soon, Grand Slam 96. We're talking about putting you on the plate in a 3D environment based on real professional stadiums. For the first time, you'll play ball with a point of view from behind the fielder for unprecedented realism. And have total control of the speed and accuracy of each pitch, the strength and timing of each swing. You'll confront artificial intelligence that reflects real play calling tendencies and the team's real styles of play. Grand Slam 96. It captures the true essence of baseball like never before. Coming soon for Windows 95, the Sony PlayStation, and Sega Saturn. The Virgin Interactive Entertainment Sports Series.
Die Hard Trilogy, the video game. Okay, that's kind of neat. Actual gameplay footage, beta version. So I didn't even know they had a Die Hard game for release consoles.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Like, I knew they had one for the Nintendo, like the old school Nintendo. End. Okay. Sure. Thanks. Okay, well, that was fun. I enjoyed that one. I like 95 a lot, but I do think 96 was a bit more interesting. It felt more like classic E3, I guess.
Yeah, 96 was definitely more interesting for me.
Oh boy, VTubers.
Yeah.
They always find a way. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I like 96. I do think I have a couple more things that I might be able to show. If Megan's okay with that, I mean.
Yeah, sure.
I would need to just find it really quick. Yeah, I don't think we need to watch that. I don't think we need to watch 30 minutes of E3 1996. I think we got a pretty good look at E3 from that video.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious about this Nintendo promotional video. For well, it says unearthed recently VHS tape. I mean, this might not be E3 related though. Yeah, it's not really E3 related, so I don't know if I'll include this, to be fair. Or should I? I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it sounds like it could be fun if you want to include it.
Yeah, okay. VHS E3 1996. I don't know what this one is either. Hold on, let me... No, I don't want you to hear sound yet. I control the sound. It's just let's see, do they show like booths and stuff? See, I'm not really too sure like what really counts here. I don't know if I'd count this one. This one's just a lot of what we've seen, but it doesn't really look like it's just showing like some stuff at E3, but Don't really think it's all that necessary for this one. Yeah, this one's just kind of more of the same. Okay, well, we'll do the promotional one. I'm just kind of skipping through this because, I mean, I'll include certain things if it doesn't look like more of the same. If anybody else wants to find any of this stuff, like legitimately, just look up E3 1996. There's a whole playlist of just a bunch of stuff that includes a lot of this. So if you want to see like some of these other ones that I'm probably not going to show because they're all like still an hour long and I'm pretty sure the 2 hour one that we saw is probably the most definitive, probably the most real, which is what I'm kind of going for. But we'll watch the Nintendo America promotional video because Megan seems curious about it, and I'm kind of curious too. Even if it doesn't directly seem like E3 related necessarily, it's still close enough, and I'm intrigued. What can I say? I am intrigued. Okay, you still watching, Megan? I didn't kill a video for you, did I? Okay, good.
No.
Okay, so we'll give this one a quick watch.
Okay.
Yes, it's just the Nintendo promotional video, and I guess the N64 was launching, so I guess it does make sense to watch this too. Don't hear sound yet though. Oh, it's just the video that we saw earlier too. I guess this is the full one.
Yeah.
Why no sound though? I swear it's not me. I didn't mute it. I promise. Maybe once again, maybe YouTube did a YouTube on this one.
I mean, if they did for the other one, it's likely they did for this one too.
So because we've seen these ones, we'll just skip through this a little bit. Just a tiny smidge. Yeah. Empire at War. Super Mario Kart R. Oh, now there's a little bit of sound. Very slight. Okay, so I think that's where it cut off for us in the other thing.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Game Boy and Super Game Boy. Nintendo has one powerhouse of a lineup waiting in the wing for 96. First up, there's a wild new adventure game for Super NES.
Oh, Super Mario RPG. Nice.
But this is no ordinary
Yeah, that's a good one.
first interactive role-playing game.
That's when they still have the title Legend of the Seven Stars. I think they cut that for the official one, right?
And is determined to rule from mushroom
I thought that was still part of the title.
Is it? Maybe it is.
and brains as you help Mario solve
I'm
puzzles.
pretty sure it is. I could be wrong.
Objects on this exciting adventure. Even Bowser and Princess Toadstool lend a hand to help recover the 7 stars, repair the Star Road, and defeat the treacherous
Super Mario RPG. Yeah, no, I guess you're right. No, okay, we'll go show what I know, eh?
Legend of the 7 Stars.
I guess I'm not
Yeah,
a true
I mean,
gamer.
it's all
Best of all, it's Mario.
No, you are.
The next inning belongs to Junior. Ken Griffey Jr.'s winning run, that is. Baseball's most popular and awesome player is back in this exciting new game for Super NES. Rare, the same folks responsible for Donkey Kong Country 2, once again applied HCM technology to create stunning, fully rendered graphics.
Huh. Rare worked on this?
Player's point of view in your favorite Major League Stadium. Pick your own teams,
I
trade
guess,
and
yeah.
track your own statistics.
How come this wasn't on the Rare collection?
Ken Griffey Jr.'s winning run for Super NES.
Because most of you probably don't want to play a baseball game.
King Daddy Day is up to his old tricks, and Dreamland is under siege once again. It's up to Kirby to come to the rescue in Kirby Superstar. Kirby's very first action.
Another classic.
Super NES. With a total of
Yeah.
10 different games, plus a special bonus game stuffed into one action-packed 32-megabyte cartridge. This is an incredible value. Defeat enemies to acquire any of Kirby's 24 power-up features as you do battle against nasty Dreamland invaders like Fatty Whale, Dynablade, and Sir Kibble. Even trade in Kirby's power-ups to create special new helper characters. And if you're really good, you might even earn your way to the final.
This one's the two-player,
The top
if I remember correctly, because you can have the other player play the helper.
Kirby Superstar for
Oh, that's
Super
cool.
NES, fresh and exciting.
Target age, huh?
Simply doesn't get much better than the rockin' new
Tetris
Tetris
Attack.
Attack.
Yoshi and
Yeah.
Mario Gang
I like how they just have
No.
Yoshi for this.
puzzle games ever.
Yeah, I remember watching the speed run of this like way back when on GDQ. It was a lot of fun.
Because once the blocks touch the top of the screen, this game is over. Single players have all the action they can handle, and in two-player mode, this game really cranks. It's a race against time as you compete to align sets of blocks, creating wild chain reactions, causing blocks to rain down on your opponent. There's no other puzzle game quite as thrilling and action-packed as Tetris Attack for Super NES and Game Boy. I'm telling you, this one's gonna be a real smash. Kirby is one busy little fella this year as he returns in yet another great new game,
Kirby's Black Ball.
Inspired by such classic games
Black
as
Ball.
and Arkanoid, the goal of Kirby's Black
I like to just break out both Kirby.
Small ball, but four-way battle control plus the risk of losing your life to a spiked wall takes the challenge to a whole new dimension. Change the ball into Kirby and get ready for even more new twists. Kirby can power up with 4 different abilities, helping players destroy blocks and clear the...
You know, that does seem pretty neat.
With 10 separate game stages, plus a hidden 11th boss stage, Kirby's Block Ball is jam-packed with fun and value. Some of the hottest news in the jungle this year is the return of everybody's favorite little monkey, Diddy, in the new Donkey Kong Land 2, Diddy's Conquest for Game Boy and Super Game Boy. Diddy's on the move, and he's got a lot of new ground to cover. In fact, this is one of the biggest Game Boy games ever. Donkey's in big trouble, and it's up to Diddy and Dixie to rescue him. This incredible new game features Rare's amazing ACM graphics, specially optimized for Game Boy. With tons of
Man, I miss classic Rare.
Yeah.
They did such a good job for so long.
They did.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Megan actually saw Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts at our local game store a few days ago.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, look, it's like $20. And I'm like, it's too much money. And she's like, is it really that bad? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, have you played it? I'm like, no. But it's not really Banjo, so I don't wanna. Bowser? Oh. Ah!
Oh, nice.
Huge new adventure. I did play this one quite a bit too.
So I never played anything past Donkey Kong Country 1. I played a little bit of it, never beat it though.
I mean, it was a hard game, so I don't really blame you.
Well, yeah.
Dixie's Double Trouble. Yeah, I like DKC3.
Nintendo is really focused on fun in '96, and in fact, the entire second half is going to be a real blast. TV sets across the country will soon be bursting in Nintendo excitement.
Nintendo has a great lineup of second half Super NES and Game Boy games backed by the power of the Play Loud advertising campaign.
Starting in early May and rolling right on into June, the action gets off to a running start with Super Mario RPG for Super NES.
See, I would love to own this one too, but this one would be super expensive.
May through June will feature
Yeah.
a powerful TV buy for Kirby's Block Ball for Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
See, I used to own it too until my parents were like, oh, you want to... Oh, no, did I actually own it? I don't know if I did. Maybe I just rented it. No, did I own it? I want to say I owned it. What happened to it then? I never... Maybe I did only rent it. I don't know. I must have. I must have only owned... I must have only rented it.
End of summer back to school months of August and September, and picks up again just in time for Christmas with a whole new blitz, beginning late November and lasting well into December. In September, Kirby Superstar for Super NES really powers up with an invincible $3.2 million in media. The entire month of October goes to the playful little monkey with big friends in high places when Donkey Kong Land 2, Diddy's Conquest for Game Boy and Super Game Boy comes bouncing out of the barrel.
I mean, they had this pretty well planned out, eh?
Never content to play
Yeah, they did.
anyone, November and December goes to the incredible Donkey Kong Country 3 for Super NES with an earth-shaking $4.8 million holiday media blitz.
Honestly, for the most part, I feel like Nintendo's always been pretty good at that, at staggering their releases.
The entire second half. We've dedicated a record $1.5 million exclusively for advertising in all the hot gaming magazines. Of course, Nintendo's own presses will be cranking out the fun as well.
Yeah, Nintendo Power, of course.
Power magazine.
Nintendo Power readers are like a secret sales force. That's why increasing readership through retail sales is so important.
Of course, gamers will
Yeah, Nintendo did a really smart idea by having their own gaming magazine
Nintendo Power Source Online features
and establishing it like really early.
And as always, retail advertising is going to be another mighty powerful force for fun throughout the second half.
Retail advertising is a hugely important part of our marketing plan. For the second half of this year, our existing RP plan will provide the kinds of dollars you need to plan and execute some great ads and some greater promotions all the way up and through the end of the year.
In August, we introduced a very cool promotion to help introduce the very hot Tetris Attack for Super NES and Game Boy. This multimedia-backed event features local market events supported with radio advertising and an exciting nationwide rental offer with over 500,000 rentals projected, plus a thrilling Tetris Attack competition. You can bet that this thrilling $4.4 million Tetris Attack advertising and promotional campaign will be causing chain reaction.
Man, they were throwing a lot of money at their advertising too.
Promotional events, you can bank on a strategic
Yeah.
publications campaign to be a major element of our second half marketing plan.
PR means momentum. Lots of coverage and lots of people talking about Nintendo products. And as we get ready to launch these products for the second half of this year, we're going to make sure that the TV cameras are rolling, that the barrels of ink are flowing, and that the game craze keeps going.
And of course, in-store merchandising is always the crucial final link between Nintendo and our retail customers.
In-store merchandising and interactive displays are the keys to announcing the arrival of new releases, helping consumers get hands-on experience with the hottest games ever. Maintaining space and visual excitement is absolutely vital to keeping sales of Game Boy and Super NES strong this fall.
Any way you look at it, it's going to be one very powerful, very playful second half. Combined, Nintendo's investing over $140 million in the continued success of Game Boy, Super Game Boy, Virtual Boy, and Super NES.
It's really impressive how long they kept the Game Boy going, eh? Since that was like, what, an 89 release?
If you ask me.
Yeah.
It's crazy how long they kept it going.
Yeah, and I don't think they were really... At least I'm pretty sure like after the Game Boy Color came out, most games were compatible with both. It was only really at the end of the Game Boy Color's lifespan where they actually started to make Game Boy Color only games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Man, that's pretty crazy. That was a good promotional video. I think it's the end. Yeah. Yeah, good promo, good promo video though. Pretty nice. Some of the stuff we already saw. Well, but we skipped that, so didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, E3 96 though, really good. It seemed like a really fun E3. I'm curious about 97 because that's when I know FF games I recognize come out, like FF7.
Yeah.
And what else came out in 97? I know that's like the big one, so I'm curious to see how much promo it'll kind of get. No,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. So, I guess that's it though. Eh?
Yeah.
What do you think of 96? That was pretty good, eh? Compared to
Yeah, it was
95.
a lot-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say there's a lot more bigger games that came out in '96 than I really thought there was.
Yeah. And how you feeling comparing it to like 95?
Definitely overall better. A lot more variety. Obviously, a lot of sports games, but that's just because of the Olympics, I imagine.
Potentially.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was all the stuff we saw was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So we seem to be both in agreement. That 96 so far between the two E3s that we've now seen, 96 is better, but 95 isn't really a slouch. I mean, it's the first event of its kind, right? Well,
yeah.
maybe not first event of its kind, but the biggest event of its kind.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what it would turn into for sure. All right, though. So what did everybody else think? See, Megan, I can also fish for comments now, too.
I wasn't trying to fish for comment.
But I guess that is it. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We hope you all enjoyed. But for now, it is time we cue the outro. Frag out, and we shall catch you guys later.
Bye.